For the last 7 years, George Sanga has been advocating for the increased use of greenhouses in Tanzania. The 35-year-old says in that time period, 6,000 people have visited his 120 square meter farm in Dar es Salaam, and many have gone on to set up their own. Apart from reduced water consumption and increased yields, he says greenhouse technologies enable farmers to wield greater control over crops.
There are times you see that tomatoes are in short supply. In that it's raining a lot, or the tomatoes are diseased. They get scorched, shrivel up, they get fungus. But in here, we don't depend on the rain. We irrigate, we have control. Come rain or sunshine, you can plant things.
With drought raging on in some parts of Tanzania, smart agricultural initiatives like greenhouses appear to be getting increased government support.
The government is advising all players in the agricultural sector as a means of dealing with the drought and delayed rains for the 2022-2023 season to do the following: to first use improved, climate-resilient and sustainable farming methods which are efficient.
Tanzania's agricultural sector, like many others in Africa, is largely dependent on rainfall and thus susceptible to the effects of climate change. The African Development Bank estimates that the continent loses 5 to 15% of its annual economic growth due to the effects of climate change. Greenhouses are being touted as the future of agriculture in Tanzania. Proponents of the technology believe it will increase productivity and food security in the country in the face of climate change. While interest in greenhouse technologies is growing among Tanzanian farmers, experts say their relatively high cost and lack of adequate knowledge on how to use them is affecting adoption rates.
In hot places, greenhouses ought to be taller to aid air circulation. When it's hot like it is in Dar es Salaam and you have planted things like tomatoes and peppers which give off flowers, increased temperatures will result in the flowers shedding, thus lowering productivity. But many of our so-called experts don't know this.
The Tanzanian government says it aims to see its agricultural sector contributing 10% to the country's GDP by the year 2030, up from the current 6%. It believes farmers like George can help with the attainment of that goal, one greenhouse at a time. Isaac Lukando, CGTN, Dar es Salaam.